All right, YouTube, we are back. We are post-class, and our guest today is Paul Ingram from Rapid Fighting Arts. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thanks for having me, Dom.
Paul, in my opinion, and you guys know I'm opinionated, is probably the best guy skilled in the Chicago area with a knife. I met Paul years ago, and Paul and Nick Fruki are two of the guys who reached out to me when I first started teaching, and they've been martial arts brothers ever since. Paul, tell us about your school, please.
So our school is Rapid Fighting Arts. We teach Pikiti Tershakali, which is Filipino martial arts. It's an inside close quarter blade fighting system against multiple opponents. That's our standard. We're located in Addison, which is, we're actually really close to the UPS in Addison. Literally about a 5-minute walk from there. So we're right there in the same industrial area.
Outstanding. I'm going to put the link to Paul's school at the bottom of the video here. Like his Facebook page. Get a hold of him if you're interested in knife fighting. You guys have heard me before talk about knife fighting. Yeah, that knife is a great equalizer in a fight. I told you about the first time that Syed, we ever did knife training, and all my skill went out the window because I'm apprehensive over a rubber knife. These guys train with real knives. It's fantastic to see. We're going to do Q&A with Paul today. And first question is going to come from, excuse me if I mispronounce this, Dinosis asks about the triangle footwork. He says that the female triangle footwork of Filipino martial arts and the approach on chasing the limbs and not the core or the center line as Wing Chun does, can that be attributed to the need of disarming the opponent? First thing Paul brought up, most of us in Wing Chun, we're sticking that limb out, and he brought it to our attention. Go ahead and do it. We're going to attack your limb. Tell us a little bit about that and incorporate it with the footwork, please.
So first, the reverse triangle is an attacking footwork that's taking you from center line, moving you off of the center line to your opponent's flank position.
Okay.
This way, then you can attack your opponent back into center line using the diamond, right, but off of his line of attack.
Mm-hmm.
That's the number one thing. If you stay on the line of attack for 2-3 seconds, you're going to be hit.
Right.
That's where you're going to get best mutual destruction.
Right.
So even though it's weaponry, in reality, if I'm going to attack you, I would have a weapon in my hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
And immediately I'm going to attack your hands as I'm closing that distance.
Okay.
I want to protect myself first, neutralize my opponent's weapons, and then dominate the combat.
Mm-hmm.
So if you attack me first, boom, I immediately hit that, and now I'm immediately back in.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is an offense or counter-offensive strike. Like I said, strike that, and then immediately get back onto the offense. You cannot play a defensive game, and a lot of times the reverse triangle is looked at as an evasive footwork,
mm-hmm.
which is not it. It's an attacking footwork to get you to a better position.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to, again, come off that center line as we are attacking our opponent's attack, and then attack back in and dominate that fight.
If you guys see how he was moving, in the Wing Chun world, what do we capitalize on? We capitalize on the moving back. And you hear me talk about the art of facing. Let's look at what happens off of this that actually puts the Wing Chun a beat behind the movement. I step in and punch and move.
Boom,
He's already there. He's already there. So their footwork is
double jab,
not evasive.
my multiple elbows.
So it's something to think about. And you put a knife in that hands, okay, you're going to look at a bigger problem. So then he's always skilled. That he was talking about multiple opponents today too. As far as that's going to be what you're fighting multiple opponents.
You better have a
well.
weapon if you're going against multiple opponents.
Absolutely. I love that philosophy.
But also to touch real quick on that question is he mentioned chasing the hands.
Right.
We don't chase the hands. We time the hands. As you're coming out, I attack that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm attacking my center line space. I am covering the center line. All of the attacks, all timing is referenced off of center line.
Mm-hmm.
Your attack has to go through center line. So as long as I'm not there and I cover this, we're going to meet force.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're not going to try and, if I'm moving here, you're not going to try and chase me with that punch.
Right.
Nobody in the world does that unless you are fake training.
Got it.
So all of our training's off of real attacks, and that's why we're immediately outside of that line. So we're not chasing, we're attacking.
This is one of the reasons that I get along with him so well is that his philosophy is just about ending that fight with his ruthless and aggression. I like this too. This is from Tommy. Tom wants to know, as far as what other concepts from other arts have influenced yours and your understanding of where you're at?
I've trained a lot of different styles. I've done a lot of the JKD, and I've ranked, instructor ranks in JKD and stuff, and they're all really good. Any
Mm-hmm.
martial art I train, they're good. They all have some skill. The thing that separates Pikiti, especially how I was taught from my instructor, was everything is tactical thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I learned before, even though they're thinking, they're saying it's tactic, it's actually, your timing is based off of technique.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for the shoulder to pop, you're looking for the eyes to move, you're looking for a hip. I have no idea how you're going to attack me. right? I don't care. You could attack me with your hands, your feet. It's irrelevant. The fact is you're attacking me.
Right.
So I have to think of timing in a tactical sense. Am I behind in your timing? Can I equal your timing? Or really, I need to be ahead of your time. Right? So I got to learn how to equal your time before I can get ahead of your time. I have to know what your timing is. And that was something that a lot of other styles wasn't able to teach me. So even though I thought I was really good, and I was good, I mean, at amateur level at best, I'm tagging people's hands, especially in the weaponry. I'm getting out, But then spending 60 seconds with my instructor Tim, immediately 60 seconds he destroyed my entire game. And I realized there's a big difference between people training and then people who are professionals. Big difference right there. And that was it. He was the one to really open my eyes to being able to control range, identify and dominate timing, and also have that visual sensitivity. You got to be able to see your opponent's lines. If you can't see it, if you lose the line of your opponent, that means you lost timing, you lost sense of range, and you're going to be hit.
That's all great points. Tom had a part 2 of that question, which I thought was absolutely fantastic, and he wants to know what makes a good student.
Good student. Number 1 is commitment to training. I don't care about what you think you're going to do in a fight. I don't care about the books that you're reading, the DVDs, the YouTube that you're watching. You have to get in. Training, fighting, combat, whatever, is a physical requirement. You have to be in and doing it. So commitment to training is number 1. If you're not showing up, I can't help you. And I'm not in a loss. I have the information. We train every single day. So if you're not with us, then don't get into a fight with us, right?
Right.
So commitment is number 1, and then the second ingredient that makes a really good student is communication. At my school, if you show that you're committed, then I want you to train with us. So if you have personal problems and you can't make it to class for a while, whatever, maybe financial, just pick up the phone, call me, email me, whatever. And if you're committed to training and you're showing me that you're in there and you're wanting to develop these skills, finances and all that stuff, we can take care of that at another time. I want you training if you're going to be committed. So commitment and communication. This is a relationship between us.
Absolutely, and those are the 2 key factors that most people wind up losing their normal relationships. And then this is a question I'm asking most of my guests here too, considering the fact that we're a Wing Chun school. Based on the perception of the Wing Chun that you've seen out there, where do you feel that we as a community can improve with as Wing Chun?
In weaponry. Honestly, it's all of combat is really based off of weapons. Criminals use weapons. Law enforcement has a whole belt full of tools, professional weapons to do their job. Military uses weapons. I mean, if you are stuck in a corner and you've got 3-4 people aggressive on you, you're going to be thinking that you want something to equalize that fight. If you're attacking me empty hands, I want to pull a weapon, right? Immediately. And a lot of times people will ask, well, what if you don't have a weapon? That's like asking a law enforcement officer that, well, you're going to go punch in and forget your sidearm?
Yeah.
I don't think so. If you are a professional at what you do, you will always be prepared. So that's really my main thing is just investigate the weapons.
That's one of the best answers I've ever heard, and it really does increase your training on there. Thank you so much for coming out today.
Excellent.
We'll guys keep the questions coming, and we'll see you on the next video.